Hmm. Big up your nice, clean self, graduates. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Well, you can't see me because my camera's off. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? We're going to talk about a few things tonight. Make sure to like up the live, big up your nice, clean self. My rancher Dawn has told you guys what to do. You understand? Theo, big up yourself. Anne Marie, big up yourself. As Dawn says, welcome one, welcome all to HTK's Live. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to show appreciation for the channel. You're watching, big up yourself. Kelsey's World of Adventure. Ashley Bell, big up yourself. Matty, hi, how you doing? Olivine, big up yourself. Phyllis Barrett, big up yourself. Pottinger Naturals, what's up? Aliko Brata, Wagwan Tammy. Rochelle Williams, big up yourself. Marcia, big up yourself. Rochelle, I see you, I see you. Vanessa Grant, what's up, sis? Ayesha Spencer, big up yourself. Tatiana Shelton, good afternoon, wherever you are. Olivine, big up yourself. Prudy's, everybody's saying they can hear me well. Good, good, good. Right. Good evening, Camilla. Share up the live, share up the live as you come in and like up the live. We're gonna go into some discussions, right? I'm gonna say a few things on the simpler subjects before we get into the whole CMR thing. Because that continues regardless whether or not people would like to hear it. It's never going to stop until we get the truth. But the first thing I want to talk about um, is this whole thing with this baby mother, baby father thing that seems to be taking over a section of our diaspora for some reason. I don't know why. It's absolutely crazy how hard people will go when they have agendas of hate and um, just complete scorn and disdain for somebody else on social media. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I avoid certain types of blogging because it really is such a pointless effort because you're dealing with people with preset notions about an individual, and no matter what this individual does, she's going to get complete bashing because of those preconceived ideas. And it really speaks to the type of people that we are as Jamaicans, that we really struggle to see other people succeed, or we really struggle to see other people doing good. Um, and we do have this tendency to try to basically tear down and destroy blatantly good acts with no evidence of anything but a hunch. You understand? Now, I see this young girl and her four children and how everybody is going on about it. I've already made my point clear about that. But I listened to a live today from Nordia or Nodia or whatever her name is. I am not too sure. But I know her as the happy housewife. And I listened to some things also on her TikTok. And I listened to the baby father and the things that he said. I saw the TikTok clips with Nikita in the house with the kids and the baby father showing off all of the things that he has and the fact that him house set up and all these kind of things. And that's being used to basically say, look, she was living a decent quality life before she went and go live in the conditions that she's living in now. And to claim that the baby father was not looking after the kids is a lie, etc., etc. Now I'm gonna, and this is it's interesting because this is very much connected to Wagwan with Chrissy and CMR. Some people get so caught up in material things and how things appear on the surface that they find it so difficult to imagine that anything else could be going on beneath that. And the question I have to ask all those people who are basically saying that this whole thing is a scam, why would a young girl who has four kids, including a newborn, well, I said newborn, but baby, palm breasts, why would she pick up herself and leave a property that is well equipped, comfortable, AC a kick, everything a go on, to go and live in this condition if everything was a-okay and this man was the perfect father and was basically doing everything he's supposed to do? Why would she leave? Is the question I have to ask you. You can carry on with a bash it. I want to tearing down, I want to cussing. But I bet you none of you can answer that question other than to claim that the young lady worthless. Now, a worthless person wants a lazy lifestyle. A worthless person does not want to work, does not want to do anything for oneself. So at the end of the day, if everything was a-okay in that household and she was sat there getting everything that she needed to get, then why would a worthless person leave? Is the question I am asking that I'm sure none of you can answer. All these people that are coming out now that she has received help to say all kinds of tarnishing things against this girl. Have you ever stopped to wonder why it is that she left that situation as a worthless girl? Because when I say she worthless and she no want work. I want to say she not have no ambition and she useless and she this and she that. And some I want to say she carry her pum pum on her forehead and all these kind of things. And I'm saying, why would she leave a situation where she is comfortable, where she has everything being provided? Because when insisting that the baby father is not worthless, I don't know him. So I'm not going to pass any judgment on the man to know whether or not he's a provider. But I am saying, is provision the only thing that qualifies a great relationship? Is provision of material things the only thing that makes a relationship wholesome? This is how some want to get tricked on a regular basis. And this is how people end up suffering in silence in abusive relationships. And nothing comes of it. Because a lazy and worthless person would stay where they can be parasitic and don't have to lift a flipping finger. But you're not going to acknowledge that question, because on a hell bent on beating down one person, and that is the humanitarian Donegal. That is what on a hell bent on that. That is what about, right? And even when you look on Nadia's live, and Nadia probably clueless because she just had to fair content. The amount of the hate of them will pack up over there because when you finally feel that this is another avenue where we can go and beat the woman on her head about everything that she do is ridiculous. It's embarrassing and ridiculous. Because as much as Nadia is saying that she's creating content and therefore she's free to say whatever because she create content. Nadia, I'm sorry. I don't know you and I don't really follow you up and I've never ever done any commentary on anything that you have said in the past. Never mentioned you. But one of the TikToks that you put out there had some defamation in it. And I wonder if you are even aware of it because you are basically saying that all of the different platform holders that are defaming your name, you're going to go after them, etc. But you made a damning statement where you claimed that half of the charity proceedings is being pocketed by the lady. And that you say. You understand? So you are basically coming out with this whole thing about scamming as well, and you have got absolutely no evidence of that. Now, I'd really like to understand where your reasoning comes from when you make that kind of statement without evidence. And if that isn't defamation, then what is? So I'm saying, if there is no hidden agenda and really and truly all of you are about the young lady going off to get a qualification and get some work, how none of you can provide any assistance to get her to do exactly that. Now, I am not going to say that this is not something that must be on the agenda. Because at the end of the day, we all know that YouTube money are not guaranteed. All it take a three strikes by your page or your page shut down or YouTube for tell you say straight that them stop pay. And it is really important that human beings have got plan B that they can fall back on if they're on this quick money train. Because it don't always go everywhere that you need it to go. So at the end of the day, I do not think that having a YouTube channel alone will suffice in terms of her developing herself as a full and wholesome mother and human being. The only thing that I've heard you guys say that I agree with is the fact that yes, she needs to go and invest in herself, up level her qualifications, and definitely get herself a career. But at the end of the day, if the immediate needs can be met via social media content, etc., doing other things, while she builds herself, she can turn around and say it's time to invest in me. But right now, baby, a ball. And the kids need to be looked after, go to school, etc. Now everybody is comparing the scenario that once upon a time they used to be going to school fine with the baby father present, etc. Fine, okay. But would you stay in a situation where your pitney them can go to school and look nice and pretty and you get beat? Me just a ask. Would you stay in a situation, okay, your children are doing well, etc., and the father, as the pitney them say, pem, out of line, might punish in a way that is not appropriate to the point where CDA needs to get involved in order to train him how to discipline? Would you stay in a relationship where you cannot trust that individual to keep their temper because of all of those other things? Or you would have pick up your foot in your hand and run? That as well, Joy. Because at the end of the day, even if a man and a woman breaks up their relationship, there needs to be a continuity of that fatherhood. Because at the end of the day, it's not like she was missing off the face of the planet. And he knew exactly where his children were. Nothing would have stopped a responsible father from going to collect his kids and see to it that they were in school, Nothing. Even if she insists on keeping her children, where is the responsibility of developing co-parenting habits if the woman don't want to be with you? So at the end of the day, be it that you think she worthless, she's a loose woman, she's this, she's that. That's a your preque and that's a your opinion of her. And I am not here to counteract that and to say nothing don't go so. Because I don't know her. I don't know none of them. But at the end of the day, what I see is a woman who is trying to do something better for her children and to go forward. And she managed to get some assistance. And if that assistance had come through via the government, i.e., it had come through from the Prime Minister, Holness himself, you guys would have had absolutely nothing to say. Not no would have to say, But because it is coming from a lady where Uno cannot stand, that you guys have already said she's a scammer. Because it is coming from her, it is time to come out like wolves and completely devour this girl. And big up the man who said he would have preferred to give her a slap, not the child. Now, as women can hear that and think say alarm bells are red flag. You guys can hear that kind of conversation and realize that that man is not okay. Even the mere fact that the CDA had to get involved to teach him how to discipline, that don't tell you that him have a temper problem. So if she is claiming that she has been abused, why are you guys ignoring the victim in preference for the man? If the man is a responsible father and this man is making sure that his kids have everything they should have, are you trying to say that she has hidden the children away from him when he knew full well exactly where they were? What would have stopped him going there to go and collect the child and take the child to the doctor? She no could have go with her friend to make sure say him no go off. Hmm? And run away with the picnic. Because look at the state of the little boy's skin and some of the children's skin. Them have eczema all over. And eczema is something that needs to be treated on a day-to-day basis, every day. It surprises me how some of you guys think and how some of you guys behave and why it is that you would go out of your way to stop blessings. Let her have her blessings. Let her have a fresh start. If she wants to turn around and make a fool of herself with everything that she has received for a fresh start, then she will learn the hard way. But if people are willing to step forward and do what some of you are not doing, because all you're doing is talking, and people are out there doing actions to change lives, then what is the point? Why would you big up the man? Say the girl worthless when she's clearly running away from something. Now, people have all kinds of things to say, including Miss Nodia, about how when Donna was praying for her and the girl getting a spirit that's not of God, because Donna is no Christian. I am not even going to comment on that because me not really talk about religion, me not like religion thing. None at all. I only know say me not believe in them something there. Me not believe in a tongues neither. Sorry. Right? But what I do believe is this. I know that that young lady has mental health issues. And the things that was expressed, that was claimed allegedly, that she may have done in response to the stresses of the life she had with that man, could very well be indicative of the fact that she has mental health issues. But let me tell you something. Any woman that goes through abuse have mental health issues. Because you cannot be in a relationship like that and be mentally healthy and balanced. And a person with mental health issues have deep vulnerabilities mentally and emotionally and spiritually. So the overwhelming emotion of that rescue that she witnessed would have probably made her behave like that. But to me, I'm not into no tongues business, right? You know, so when we see them something, then we just kind of turn the other way. But if that is how she felt like expressing it, as so she expressed. Exactly, girl, with the biggest gap. Some of you people are silent enablers of abuse while not being loud with going after the victims of it. That is what I see. And on that note, I'm going to move on and get to the other parts of the life. Right. So, no. Have you, I'm sure all of you by now may have heard the clip that has been a strong reminder of the kind of human being we're dealing with when it comes to CMR. Um, there are rumors going around about the fact that a text message was sent to a friend of the victim, but I have no evidence of that. And until then, people, I'm not gonna bring that part to the live and to the, to my class. But it's out there. People are speaking it. Um, but they're not showing any evidence of it. So until then, right? I can't examine it and I can't comment on it. But it is not far fetched to imagine that Jay would have told her friend something. These are teenagers after all. It's the age of electronic devices and information flies really quickly. But I observed CMR on his live on TikTok. And I watched that live on TikTok. right up until the live froze. He went live again today, but it was very long. Um, And interestingly, the very same method that they're using on YouTube is exactly the method that's being used over on TikTok of deleting any negative comments that are made, deleting, blocking, whatever it is they're doing over there. Anybody who reminds him of who they think he is. So there's this purging effect. And he was on this live with him friend that he has known for over 30 years. And this friend was busy vouching and doing this whole character reference thing that he's been begging for, vouching for his friend, right? Um, Saying that when him hear all of the foolishness will go on, him never look because that I know him, that I know him guy, that I know him bro God. Do you understand? Him a say the same way what him know would I never do them kind of thing. They say him never look pan that. I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog. Conversation. Hear that. And interestingly, the friend really wanted to get into things, but CMR was very tight-lipped, in accordance with his new approach of not being transparent, right? So everything he said was appear people appear every time he mentioned the case, right? You see it and tap up the screen and thank you for the donut and the this and the that. He did, however, speak about the fact that, he might have big up the people and will still stick with him no matter what, and because them always a try bring him down and blah blah blah. As though everything that is being said about him is a whole conspiracy to tear down the Carter family and destroy them. Because all of us can't stand the fact that them live in a big house. All of us can't stand the fact that them a drive big car. And all of us can't stand the fact that they are a family of husband and wife and kids. That really, as you know, is a fallacy because them thing there is not the reason why. What CMR is failing to recognize is that he's accountable for the reaction of the internet to date based on what was released out here on social media. So, hang on a minute. These are the kind of things that remind us about who CMR is and why it is that we are hesitant to believe that that dismissal was an acquittal. This man is like a narcissist, like manipulator, yo. Feel like when every time people one little thing I'm never telling you. You see when Kusha meet me, because now you like look like a little pitney in real life, me have a little pitney body and everything. You know when the man meet me, it look like some never know me right age. The man look at me and say, how old you be? He say I'm 22. He say, I think I'm 15. And I said, I'm serious, guys, like I'm serious. We feel like some in a predator, the boy that one predator. You heard that? Did you guys hear that? Because if you didn't hear that, I'll pull it up again so you can hear it another time. Have a look up the body and everything. You know when the man meet me, it look like some never know me right age. The man look at me and say, how old you be? Me say I'm 22. He said, I think I'm 15. And I said, I'm serious, guys, like I'm serious. We feel like some me in a predator, the boy that one predator. And that was from last year. That was from last year, 2023. 1 year later, we are now at the situation where we're hearing that his 13-year-old has accused him of molestation. So when your side chick, who you can be a real dirty self with, comes to the internet and tells the internet that allegedly in a conversation, he looks at you and says, he looks at her and says, "How old are you?" And she responds, "I'm 22." And then he goes in a serious voice, "I thought you were 15." You don't think that the internet should be aware of the kind of person that you are, that you've shown yourself to be? And the mere fact that allegedly you thought she was 15, why would you be entertaining her on and engaging with her on an intimate level at try check her when you thought she may have been 15? Now, Shani said it from a long time that you are a predator. That's what Shani said. So at the end of the day, why should the internet think that there aren't credible signs out there because it's a your side chick, you know? Why should the internet think that was before the incident? Yes, that was 2023, 2023, not 2024, 2023, when he was found to have had an affair on his wife. Why would the internet not think that you are, in fact, capable of going after your stepdaughter? I said it before and I said it again. You have a penchant for barely legal girls. So why would we not see you as the type that would start to look in the direction of your stepchild? When you look at Jay's little body is developing. And interestingly, many times when you were doing the filming, even in the way you were filming, it seemed as though you were paying attention to particular parts of her body more than anywhere else. Not saying which, but I'm saying anybody who looks back in the videos can clearly see that the camera angle was, not good, not appropriate. And then there is that birthday video that still keeps coming up into my head. Because the weirdness of that birthday video isn't just how she uncomfortably adjusted your arm from over her shoulder or around her shoulder, but also the discomfort and the tension she experienced when the mother came into the room and started to brush her hair. That look that she gave, that downcast look, her body going rigid. I don't know if that was about, oh my God, did mommy notice? And feeling guilty because she doesn't want to upset, or just the shame of what she knows on the inside coming out. But when I look at a past life that Chrissy did, where she's basically going, why should I worry about anything when God is in control? When God reveals things so that things can fall into place. Why should I? Me supposed to tear up my ear? Well, me I tear up my ear for God never tell me to tear up my ear. I have pressure and my pressure is fine. Those were the words that she used. So your pressure never budged for your child, claiming that she was molested So your pressure nearly destroyed you. Because remember, you came on live almost a wreck, bawling and cussing and talking about how you feel sick because of the whole thing with CMR and his side chicks. So your reaction to this is so much less, to the point where it's almost like you're dismissing it as insignificant and unimportant. So, how is it that you do not expect the internet to look at you as a mother who has decided not to stand with her child, but in fact to stand with her man? It's alleged that you had a hickey on your neck. Me say none. So them say. You spoke openly about going to sleep at the apartment, which means you're comfortable being in that physical place, in the same space as that individual. I'm choosing my words carefully, but I'm sure Chrissy knows what I mean. By the end of the day, we see no standing up for, no alignment to the situation with the child. And then that ridiculous interview. Absolutely stupid interview. And I still gonna big up the fix. You know why I'm gonna big up the fix? I'm gonna explain to you why I'm gonna big up the fix. Because you see that fix interview, it very CMR. It was clear and apparent that the only way they would get that man on their platform is to agree to his terms and conditions of how to question and how to conduct it. It is clear that they had to do it a certain way for him to agree to it. Because it really was the intention, and I'm not going to put this on the fix only, for him to make himself look good. But what the fix did was reveal the guiltiness in his behavior. Not doing anything and going along with his way of doing this interview, you guys have made it clear to the public that there is a problem. And for that, the fix, I am thankful, because you fix him. Just not in the way that that the public wanted you to fix him, but you have presented the true epitome of narcissism. And somebody who will go to the lengths to hide their hands. How can you say that you thought that Shani was 15, according to Shani, and sound disappointed to learn she was 22, if you do not have an inclination for the underaged? Is the question I'd like to ask. Boy, people, all I know is that if the signs are there and the mother has forgiven the signs, does that make her complicit? Let me play a recording.
Um, you see that thing with Sim
Hold on. I'm going to change the voice.
and Chrissy? Chrissy do not know this is going to get worse for her. I give it the next few months. Sigma is going to be back in the news again and I'm going to arrest it. And this time, Chrissy's going to go to weekend. Chrissy turned a blind eye to that sexual assault on a child. And all because she loves Sigma so much. Once a predator, always be a predator. I went to the same thing with my boyfriend, man. He was molesting my daughter. And I had to call the police on him and have him arrested. And he's still here to the time in jail. These men will never, just what you see this bad dress, this is a continuous thing. It will never get better and they will never change. See, now, Chrissy is crazy. Chrissy told them all because of her kid, all because of views and together public eye. She told the lady to her protecting her child from me and offers giving make sure as we can mix and give it a few more months. And so it's going to be making the news and this Chrissy's going to be focus just a few more things. Chrissy is not paying attention to this man. This man is going to be his Columbia country character. Once he comes to arms with it, they don't change. Always have the tendencies, believing that the movie based on me, and she brought up those basics love. Chrissy always, you should also put children. And showing how the future is not mine. And she keep on telling the girl around that my point to go. I see because someone is going to attack him mess with his future that you have. There's Queen, Janae, and Olivia is playing his. Janae is not his, so he feels so fixated on.
Are you guys not hearing? It's muffled. All right, let me try a different. Hold on. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
Should I sing it singing, Chrissy?
I don't want to play her voice, you see. So I have to try and find. All right, let me try this one. Listen to this
I
one.
don't know. This is gonna get worse for her. I'll give it maybe next few months. Summer is gonna be
Is that better?
news again and I'm getting arrested. And this time, Chrissy's gonna
Is that better? Tell me if that is better.
be anything. Chrissy turned a blind eye to but that sexual assault on that child. And all because she loves Summer so much. Once a predator, always the predator. I went through the same thing with no less than that. He was molesting my daughter. And I had to call the police on him and have him arrested. And he's still here to be thrown in jail. This man will never, this, once you see this man do this is a continuous thing. It will never get better and they will never change. Same Chrissy is crazy. Chrissy turned a blind all because of her kid, because of views and publics, to be in the public eye. She turned a blind to her protecting her child from that man and all of it of you and all of you showing us with him weeks and give it a few more months and Sima is going to be back in the news. And this time, Chris is going to end up in handcuffs just the same as him. Chris is not paying attention to this man. This man is going to be, he's going to be a continued predator. Once a predator, always a predator. They don't change. Always have their tendencies. They never goes on and should bring him back into this kid's life. Chris don't realize you're supposed to protect your children. Children are the future. It's not man. And she keep on telling her brother about that quality girl. I feel because Soma is not going to attack him and mess with his three children that he have. Those Queen, Janae, and Olivia is not his. Jimmy is not his. So he feels he's so fixated on Jimmy and he feel like, okay, yeah, he's gonna do it. But I'm telling you, Jimmy is gonna be the smartest child to bring her parents down. They're gonna get him do the right thing and maybe video to record it and hide the camera and then to catch him on the app. Because he think he got away with it. Next time he won't. He will never get away with it. And I'm telling you, Chrissy's gonna join in behind bars too. I know that on my life. Chrissy's not protecting those kids at all and they're not protecting those kids' future. He think he got away. He ain't got away. He think he got away scot free. The only thing that God is watching him.
That is it. Hmm. That lady is saying that her own son was being molested by her husband. And she did the stand up thing and she reported it and she made sure that she did what she was supposed to do and he still got off scotch free. Sometimes when there is no penetration, there is no body fluids, it's really easy to dismiss the situation because it's word against word. You understand? And what I'm picking up here is that because something cannot be proven, Chrissy, it's almost as though you are deciding that you know what, you are going to stick with your husband and stick with your family as though all is well, regardless. Because if it can prove, then you'd much rather believe that fairy tale that it has to be a lie. Now, you own one business with CMR, just one. Watch Chrissy Work LLC is owned by you on your own. But you've got Carter Gang LLC, which is owned with him, right? Now, is it that you are so tied up financially with this man that you feel like you can't step out on your own? And even if you look at the fact that you have a joint mortgage together, is that what's making you make this choice? Your entire mortgage amount is 533,700 US dollars, right? More than half a mil. So that's a lot of debt. And that was from 2022. Don't ask me how I know, because I know I'm looking at the document. And I'm wondering if your mortgage term of 30 years is why you are making these choices. I can also tell you that your mortgage type was a Veterans Affairs mortgage loan type, which means that you got yourself a discount because of it. You cannot, under any circumstance, sacrifice your child's safety for material gain. Because soon, they're going to start to look at you and say that you are, in fact, exploiting your children. Hmm? They are going to look at you and say that you are exploiting your children for financial gain. And it's only a matter of time before everybody starts to point the finger at you as the person who did not stand up for that child's statement to go through. Because regardless of what was put in that complaint, this is still a minor, and the minor still needs representation and support in order to make this case stick or at least go to trial. You can't make lifestyle and money make you make some serious and crucial mistakes around your children's future. That little girl that the internet is now saying has lied. How is it that as a mother you haven't come out to say leave my child alone? You were able to come out and say leave my man alone, but you weren't able to come out and say leave my child alone, if it is that you even believed her. No acknowledgement at all. And you think that that is a normal reaction? It isn't. There's nothing human about it. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but things are changing when it comes to child influencers. Things are changing when it comes to child influencers because many child influencers who appear on their families' channels have been exploited throughout the world. And They dance and sing and have their most intimate moments on camera against their will or authority because at the end of the day, they're children under the influence of the parents and the guidance of parents, right? So, as such, America is starting to look into child influencer laws because they're realizing that a lot of children are getting exploited for entertainment purposes and for monetization. These platforms where you have families presenting this perfect image or even presenting a very skewed image of what family life is supposed to be because you have got those ones that the family's always cursing and being horrible and that sells. When these children grow up and become adults, we even had a case where they were once sue our parents, because dumb to our period, them have on camera. When she see our period for the first time, she had to go out and talk about whether she had used tampon or sanitary napkin. And as an adult, she was so disgusted and she sued them and she wanted everything taken down. Children who are on the platforms of their parents are supposed to be paid. And as such, things are changing in America. It's either you pay them or you put the money aside in a trust fund or whatever that only they can touch when they become adults. I wonder if the Carters are doing that for their girls or are they just spending it on their lifestyle? Because everybody needs to be a part of this image in order to keep pushing the products and the brands and getting the deals that they want. To the point where now they're trying to change their strategy and saying that okay, we can't do it all together because we don't want any interactions between Jay and the man being inspected by the social media dragons. So what we're going to do is we're going to just focus on ourselves. The kids will be in the background but not the main stars of the show, and they will eventually have their own platforms where they will cater to the American audience and not the Jamaican ones. Why them have to be on the internet at all is beyond me. But the money is more important than mental health, no doubt. So in Illinois, on the 1st of July 2024, a law was introduced that requires parents to compensate their children for appearing in paid content that they create and share on social media. This law is a part of Coogan's law, which protects minors working as influencers. The compensation of the minors who appear in the property must be at least 30% of their paid content within a 30-day period. You hear what I say? Not 30% next year. Within a 30-day period. So every month you get paid by YouTube, that 30% is supposed to be set aside in the state of Illinois. And it has to go in a trust for the minor, not cash in hand for them to blow irresponsibly. Mhm. That parents are supposed to keep a record of all the contents that they create, and that the compensation that the children receive and the funds must be deposited into a trust fund, a trust account. Look it up. And the amount a parent must set aside depends on how much the child appears in the content. And if you look, the Carter kids are literally there for, I would say, more than 80% of their content across all paid platforms. And if the children appear in at least 100%, at most 100%, at least half of the earnings must be set aside. And if the parent doesn't comply, the minor can seek legal recourse if a parent fails to compensate them properly. Now, this law in Illinois is intended to be rolled out across America. It's only a matter of time. It's the first state to pass the law, but it's coming because the world is waking up to the fact that this is child labor. Pay attention. The world is waking up to the fact that this is child labor. And I wonder if Chrissy and Siamara are doing right by those kids with all of the performances that they are actively involved in. And how willing will they be to have their image all over the internet in this sordid ordeal for financial gain when they become old enough to actually challenge you? Ah, see the Noriacs? Noriac said the law has been passed in California already. All right. The Coogan laws want to pay attention to because a lot of these influencers in America have their kids parading in front of a camera for financial gain. And a lot of them are doing it for their own financial advantage, but not necessarily ensuring that the children are compensated for their part in their pocketing of thousands on a monthly basis. I am wondering if the reason why they don't want to fracture this is because all they're counting are the dollars. And I'm saying, as a mother, let me tell you this. You see, if I hear that this kind of thing is happening around my child and then know there is a whole legal proceeding, etc., etc., you see, by the time I done private videos, uno no see them. That's the difference. Uno no see them. Only the ones with just me, and even if me I left up him, but me nah keep reaping with their images out there and all of this scrutiny taking place. My maternal instinct right away would be to protect them and to cover them from the eyes of the public. Not to keep it up and keep earning from it. But you see, that $500,000 mortgage is hanging over your head. And that's all you can see. So all you see is the financial woes. And you can't see anything else. And this little girl has made a complaint. And I've already stated that the procedure behind the investigations, the forensic interview, is not no simple thing. It's not one time she could have lied. She would have gone to the forensic interview and she would have had to repeat the same story in a conversation. She would have had everything said, discussed with that interviewer from the CPSA. She would have had to repeat it at least 3 times to a professional, each in different capacity: counselor, police officer, CPSA interviewer, and possibly the child protection services as well. So do you explain? How you explain that an officer did not do their job right when this is a multi-layered, multifaceted procedure? Not one person that just sat there and took notes, but several professionals involved. A claim like that needs to be investigated. It does. Because I'm very tempted to contact the Apopka police and gain clarification. Very, very tempted. Mm-hmm. Because your claims are there online, which I would love to send to them, that says that you know that the detective did not do their job. So don't you think we need to challenge the Apopka police? Because you are basically making a statement online that it wasn't done properly. I'm going to reach out. Yes. And I'm going to show them that interview. And I'm going to challenge them. And you're thinking that probably because I live in the UK, I can't do that. You'll be surprised how I can do it. Because I have family all about. And I'm going to get their feedback. Indeed. Because that claim in itself is libel. That claim in itself is a poor use of taxpayers' dollars. And you'd be surprised who I have living in Florida. So I'm pretty certain I can get them as citizens of the United States to reach out to say, how is it that my taxpayers' dollars has gone down the toilet in this manner? Because you have mishandled a case where this young lady is concerned. I think we need to challenge what you've put out here. Yes, graduates. We need to challenge what you've put out here. I already have an individual who is active behind the scenes, looking into it, a member of the force. So let us see what will come out of it. Because I have questions I need to ask. How is it that you dropped the ball here and allowed this individual to not have a case to trial? Hmm. I'm devastated that there are so many on the internet who don't see that this is serious. I am perplexed and it saddens me greatly. It makes me worry because some of you, mighty God, can you just imagine how many of you have turned a blind eye to the things that have happened to your own children and even to yourself? How many of you would lay in bed with a predator so easily just for material wealth and gain? Some of you are so sick in the head that all you see is the prettiness of things and don't realize that abuse can happen under the surface. And you are not willing to challenge it and you're not willing to stop it and you're not willing to question it. I know the fix could not have done what we would have liked them to do. They could not have done what we would have liked them to do. We would have liked them to go hard. We would have liked them to ask the tough questions. We would have liked them to insist on responses, but him would have walk off. That's a narcissist we're dealing with here. Him would have walk off. Him would have walk off at the interview. Him would not have sat there and cause him have a kiki, cause his nervous laughter is what he uses to give a false sense of security and confidence. You know, here when the girls say he's a narcissist, he's a master manipulator. And those were the barely legal girls. Okay, Shani was 22, but she's still barely legal because in some states you can't drink unless you're 21. Right? And Cass was only 18. when he met her. You understand? So at the end of the day, we've got good reason to be concerned and good reason to be worried and good reason to question. And no, we're not going to be silent about it. A lot of you really want us to be silent about it because a lot of you have dirty skeletons like this in the closet that you don't want to be revealed. Hmm? There's carelessness happening around those girls. Carelessness. Now I've seen where CMR's brother, who is, oh boy, whose own baby mother has come out and said that she got pregnant for him at 14 or 13 or 14. Now in the States, and being allowed to be around the little girls. And I'm wondering, I'm not saying he's necessarily exactly the same type, but Hmm. Hmm. There is no protectiveness coming from Chrissy. She seems to be just kicking back. Anything happen, leave it to God mentality. No steps in place. Now, the lady said that he may not touch his biological children, but he's fixated on Jay. That was her opinion on that, because I don't necessarily agree that it may just stop there. If the person has an illness, it may not stop there. God forbid, but it may not. Right? We've heard too many stories on this platform where biological connection don't stop a damn thing. We've seen it too many times. We've heard it too many times. It don't stop a damn thing for somebody who has got that mental illness. That mental illness that only chemical castration can fix. Hmm? It's concerning. Let me play one more thing for you.
Talk is in. Chicago from National came around the international because the business killed them with the shit. So, you know what and then they come, that was it again. And then they pick up on it just. Oh, everybody sounds so cute. It was my time. I should do it. It's no disagreement. There's no God. And then, your skin smooth, make you love it rough. Touch your body so soft, no one got it off. She down with me, very nice. Every time you look on her, you're paradise. Don't even know who's we want to tell us something. Come back and get me. Every time. You call me all right, we couldn't talk.
All right. That is what was allowed back into the household. Your skin smooth, but you love it rough. Eh? And 1 year later, after the marriage counseling, remember you said that you were even sleeping in separate bedrooms. After all of that, we're here again. Hmm? After all of that, we're here again. Why is it that we refuse to see the signs, those of us who claim that it's all a hate campaign? It is from your past behavior. And it has not left you. How do I know it hasn't left you? Talk about when you were on your live and a follower looked at you and said, "Give me a shout out." This was just a week ago. And you looked on that follower whose name was Dick and said, "I hope you are dicking down those girls." Talk about the day when it hit social media that your case was dismissed and you were so flabbergasted that it was on my page, Pinkwall page, and every page. How you just moments before were busy talking about how you used to F off all of the gal them in a school. Talk about that. And all of a sudden is God. God. God this. God that. You people really are so stupid to believe this man has changed overnight to talk about church and what has God done for me and how we believe in God. He is pulling the wool over your eyes, and Chrissy, you are right beside him doing the same. Notice when he signed that, because I even did a statement there, no can't tell me. You cannot tell me that it's not him do that statement. That statement that was written on behalf of the Carter family. Everything you do on social media, he has control over it as well. Equal shares. Why? Because that part of the business is the Carter Gang LLC. His name is on the business. You can't stop that. You can't stop it. So when you do your Watch Chrissy Work stuff, that is your money. Everything else you do, that is the two of your money. If you notice, that's why when a video goes up here, it goes up on his after, because he pushes your platform first as the more popular. He is still controlling you financially. And you are equally complicit in allowing him to try to connive the public with some ridiculous statements that he's talking about God when his behavior has shown nothing but filth. How quickly he had to edit out the whole heap of P clot and B clot and R clot that him discussed in that same live when him figure out say everybody know. And put out the part where he says that he curses in front of his kids all the time. Your family grow up, your children grow up in a house with bad word. We're not going to forget and we're not going to stop talking about it. Or your little girl look for you and tell you, say, your daddy going to kill you. Hmm? We're not stop talking about it. The things that she hears that she repeats. How when you saw somebody say something simple, which was just about vocabulary, and you start just up one only padoti bad word, and then within a moment, God is love. Oh no? You guys use this because you know that the majority of your audience are very mentally vulnerable. And there's a lot of them out there. That's why I said to you that a lot of this has to do with the manipulation of the mindset of people. And them think them smart, but not all of us are sheep. None of us graduates are sheep. But there are a lot of sheep out there. That's why politicians can get away with so much crap. Look at Usain Bolt, what they people. Usain Bolt and this whole thing with his money that has gone missing. How the government tell him say he's gonna get compensated and then turn around and tell Usain Bolt that he's only going to get a part of his money. Hmm? Just listen to even that. $12.8 million taken away from Usain in the fraud case. And the government first said the SSL would have to repay him 100%. Now him come back and say we're only going to give half. This is how people in power use their mind against people who are in lesser positions. They paint you a pretty picture and say this is what we're going to give you, and then they don't deliver. And that's exactly what the characters have done. They've painted you a pretty picture. But in reality, their behavior shows you so much else. Yes, Alika Brata, the moment you say God and I believe in the Lord, you can get away with so much crap. I don't know how enough fear God. I am not a Christian and I am not a churchgoer, but I would never dare use God to cover my sins and make it look like I'm right with Him. Hmm? And make it look like I am right with Him. When somebody has a problem like an addiction to minors, it doesn't just go away. It doesn't go away overnight. It doesn't go away by just living in separate properties. In fact, living in separate properties gives him room to do more. Let me tell you something. Why you think he's creeping out on TikTok? Why you think he's creeping out on TikTok? Remember, says pan TikTok and meet them girl, And now he's doing more frequent lives on TikTok because he realized he can manage the chat, and because he know people want to fast, people would rather not type so them don't get blocked and have to go rebuild another page. So while he's there, keeping it cool and quiet and acting as though nothing is wrong, he can fish. Because what does TikTok have that YouTube doesn't have? TikTok has a younger audience. Hmm. TikTok has a younger audience. Oh, a whole little girl over there. Look at the doctor that was accused of raping and molesting over 200 former patients. Hmm? That was in Massachusetts. He essayed more than 200 former patients over a period of more than a decade. That is how long it took to capture that doctor. And that included teenagers and adults. So he was a pedo as well. And this took place over that lengthy period of time. His name is Derek Todd. Look it up in the news. Hmm? It may not be a today catch. It may not be a tomorrow catch. It may not be a next year catch. I want to tell you, so this man was doing this for a decade or more, and it took that length of time to hold him because he couldn't stop. He had a thirst, a driven desire that he could not control. So at the end of the day, when you take a look at a man that can sing that the kind of dirty song there, that can be hurt, well, the alleged allegations is that he had no problem performing oral on one of them, the 18-year-old. Yes, sleeping without protection and going home to him wife, go kiss him wife after and do and do. A man that would leave his wife in the car for hours while he's in the house and interfere with the little young girl them. When you see a man like that telling you about God, a man who is encouraging his followers to dig down girls, I'm no sir. And only tell me say me have a problem. Those of you who are saying don't talk about it anymore, are you serious? That they can come here and say God, 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 God. God is love. God, God. And the whole I want to say, yes, Lord, hallelujah, amen. It is finished. Huh? Let God be the judge. Let God be the judge. No, I want the courts to be the flipping judge. How about that? I want the courts to be the judge. But instead, it was dismissed. And why was it dismissed? They claimed there was not enough information, not enough evidence, insufficient evidence. So it was not a good case to go forward for prosecution. Hmm? Them couldn't go forward with the prosecution because it wasn't enough evidence. If somebody grab you upon your bottom or touch you upon your breast or give you a slap without leave a bruise, it's your word against theirs. Now everybody's going on about this camera. I want to say something about that, because everybody's going on about camera in the room, camera in the room, camera in the room. I need to clarify something for my fellow bloggers because a lot of you are saying this, but there is more to it than that, okay? If you read the statements carefully, what was in the room was a baby monitor. The baby monitor had a camera attached to it. The camera attached to it did not record, it streamed. Now everybody's saying why them set the camera that way, etc., etc. It's not necessarily a case of a deliberate thing. Sometimes you can have the baby monitor streaming and it goes through to your app. But for you to record on it, all you have to do is put in a SIM card. Yes, not a SIM card. What do you call it? Oh my God, a storage device card, right? You need to put a storage device card in there and then you can turn on the recording thing, or you need to attach it to your cloud and then it will upload to the cloud. And the cloud that comes with these things tend to come with the product itself. Like you can buy and pay a subscription to add to the cloud, right? Now, there's this whole question about why it is that this was in the room with a 13-year-old. And we all know that Jay has her own bedroom. Why would a baby monitor be in that room? Is a good question. Is it that they had sleepovers and the girls wouldn't go to bed? So they have to make sure that the children go to sleep? Why would you do that for a teenager? You wouldn't put a camera in the room, a baby monitor camera in the room of a teenager. Even if the daughters sometimes shared rooms together, wanted to sleep in Jay's bed, whatever, there would be no reason for you to put a camera in that room because then Jay would be the one in supervisory capacity. There's something very off about a baby monitor. Yeah, SD card. There's something very weird. He live streamed from the app, allegedly. What? I never hear about that one. But all I know is there's something very weird from the perspective of this is a teenage girl whose body is developing, who's becoming aware of herself, who needs her privacy and her space. Why would you do that? Why would you have a device that's streaming live content in her room? It is very, very bizarre, and nobody questioning that. Nobody is questioning why it is that in the officer's statement, a quotation, because Mega asked, Mega make sure the Apopka police are asked why it is that on the police arrest records, you've got quotation marks around that phrase. She was on the floor playing with herself. If not known, go so why you do that? Make them explain it. Because why would you make that kind of statement? Okay. You're trying to tell me that the detective didn't do their job. Mhm. It never do good. It never do right. So every jack thing in that statement wasn't correct. It was a whole blatant lie. We need some clarification. Because you saying that, especially as a Jamaican, it not mean she was sat there playing on her phone or on her tablets. You said playing with herself. That means that she did a touch herself. Now, if you as a father go into that room and you see that, why henceforth would a camera be in the room? Say you go and you see that once. You said in the statement, or at least in the statement, it says it's not the first time she's been caught doing this. So if it is that it's not the first time she's been caught doing this and the girl is busy exploring her body, which she has a right to do as a 13-year-old, she is a child. Big up yourself, Vibes Entertainments. Big up yourself. She has a right to explore her body because it is her body. She's learning what feels good, what doesn't feel good. Oh, all of a sudden, this change, what this do? That normal. Why would you insist as a male parent to keep going into the room with that girl if she's at that stage of development? How is it that Chrissy did not step forward and say, "Oi, now go back in there. I might turn for wake her up to get her ready for school because clearly she's at that stage now." When I tell you that there are no steps being taken to protect, these are the questions that have come up as a result of that statement. Why would you keep allowing your man, your husband, who is not this girl biological father? Yes, him raised her from she too, but I know him. Why would you still allow him to keep going into the room? Were you not aware of it? Did he not tell you? No. Let us go on the premise that he never tell you. Let's go on the premise that he never tell Chrissy. Why did he keep it if he never tell you? And you never know. I'm asking all these crucial questions because I want Chrissy to wake up. God know people the way me used to like that girl and what she represents. You think say it pleased me that she go through this? It cut me. And I don't understand her reactions. Neither from a blogger's perspective or a mother's perspective. I don't understand her reaction. Is it that he never told you? And if he never told you, why did he keep it? And if he knew about it, why did he keep that camera there so that he could keep seeing it? And if she's going through that phase, isn't she entitled to privacy? Should the baby monitor be present? Hmm? Should the camera be on at all? If, say, for example, you are using the baby monitor to communicate, you want to shout upstairs and you can't be bothered to tear out your throat hole. So everybody got a baby monitor. Bloggers, I want you to go backwards, and go through the videos where there are they're in the rooms with the girls, or the girls are in the rooms doing their whole drama thing. And spot if you see baby monitors anywhere at all. Just look for it. Just look for it for me. Especially in the recent videos leading up to this thing. Me I go look too. Because say for example we see any clips of Jay's room and there are no baby monitors present. I'm wondering if this was just a something thrown in there to make it look like there is potential evidence that might show or might not show. I don't know. But it'd be interesting to have a look, a deeper look. But if you know that she's going through this phase where she had check her body, why would you keep the camera in there? Why would you as a man keep going into that room? You know, if you do it, if you stay far, you must not go in there. Especially at that crucial time when you claim to say that is when you seem to see her. And why would the mother allow you to keep interacting with her in her private space, knowing that she's doing this? Hmm. The other question I have to ask, and these are the kind of questions that the fix could never ask this. Because trust and believe if the fix asked this, the man would have bounced. So we are asked, the public is asking, because these are the things these are the reasons why we still cannot believe. Why is it that on the public arrest record you claimed that the camera will show that you have not been in there? Yet it is known that the camera does not hold recordings. Why did you say that the camera would give evidence if you know it did not hold recordings? Why were you missing the night when the police came and only present the following day? Where did you go? Who alerted you? Why it is that you were not home when the police came? Nor did you present yourself at the station. Because, hey, if you are innocent man, and you know say nothing no go so, and you hear say police are come for you, me not only a turn up at the station, me a turn up with my attorney. Yeah, because I come in to fight. Hmm. You went missing. Almost like you considered to run away, I think. You went missing. Why did you go missing? And when you realize, say, you can't escape, you have to come back. Because it's going to be real bad for you if you do that. Huh? That's what made you decide, you know what, let me come back, because you see, if me not come back, it's going to be worse. Now I definitely look guilty. Why did you run? Yeah, why you ran? Who told you? So I'm saying this to say that it is clear that Chrissy was circumventing the circumstances from behind the scenes from the very get go, that she was seeing to it that her husband was protected more so than her own daughter. And even when I look at her actions of decorating the apartment, putting things that were in their house in that house, eating with him, laughing with him, and him that they all make sexual connotation jokes, looking at her talking about it, think that you forgive me, and I look down upon her front too. Yeah, we see it, CMR. You did that. Um, it just show that this woman who married a monster is so in love with this man that she'd have got to the edge of hell with him and fall over. And she'd take her kids with her, no problem. Everything cannot be about a $500,000 mortgage, Chrissy. Everything cannot be about YouTube money, Chrissy. Everything cannot be about the looks and the imagery, Chrissy. Trust in yourself. Look how well Watch Chrissy Works is doing. You see how them slap with the website. Do you know how much more support you would have gotten if you had stood with your chat? You don't even. You think that you hitting any little views? No, no, that when come up with on a bangarang and suddenly on the views jump to twice or three times as much. You think that on enjoying anything? No. You see, if you had done that, my girl, you would have break the internet. You would have break the internet because there would be so many that would roll out behind you. Don't make nobody hold it over your head that because them bring you come a foreign, them can do anything they want to do with you. Do not allow the man to manipulate you in that way to make you think that you can never ever leave unless it's in a body bag. Hey, guys, you notice, say, since everything drop and so I go and watch and see how much other gun range content him going put out. I go and watch and see how much other gun range content him going put out. Because even that, what he did was manipulative. Even that, what he did was sending subliminal messages. Because when I hear and when I listen to the things that he did with them two girls and I listen to their perspective and I listen to the voice notes and I listen to the recordings that were dropped and I look at the picture and the video with him a suck out the girl tongue and I look at all of that and the treatment of him wife during the process, I said to myself, mm-mm. And then I look and I connect the dots to the things that he's saying in his current life, how he could not hold back on his sexual innuendo jokes and his preoccupation with carnality. I said to myself, mm-mm. And then when I see him pretending to be this good two shoes good boy, and then when he's speaking to his friend on TikTok, the only memorable moments them have is looking gal. I said to her, these people are waving God to try to make it look like this is now the new look and the new thing. But they did it last year. They did it year before last, 2023. How they're going to counseling, how they're sleeping in separate bedrooms, you know? Hmm. Boy, I wish I could have shared something with them, you know. If you think me easy, you know, but me just allow it, you know. Because me's a woman when a ramp for run if me not happy, you know. Yes. She's a runner, she's a track star. Try know that. Would not hesitate to start on my own because I have faith in my own skills and my own abilities. But I don't think Chrissy has faith in hers to that. I don't think she can do it. Because when I look at that domestic statement that she made, I'm going to read it for you, you know. Because I want her to kind of understand her head. I'm going to read it. Hold on. I'm not going to show it because I know that they're asking for it to be expunged or rather sealed. But I'm going to read it. You understand? Hold on a second. I read it, man. Dear So the cases there, et cetera, which they redacted, the case number, etc. Dear Judge, Honorable Wayne, whatever. I'm requesting that the no contact order be dropped between my husband and myself. I am in no way in fear of my life or my kid's life. The truth be told, he's really a great father to our kids and a wonderful husband. This no contact order has taken a toll on both myself and my children. My kids are constantly asking, where is daddy? He has never been apart from them ever. My husband has never been violent to me or anyone, and he does not have a violent history. Things have been so stressful since he's not here. He's the one that typically takes the kids to their extra lessons, gymnastics, swimming, and doctor's appointment. It's really hard for me alone because we have 4 kids. We have never had a domestic altercation in our 10 years of being together. I think this pandemic have taken a toll on us. However, we are making arrangements to see a counselor so this will never happen again. Thank you so much for your consideration. And that was a docket that was entered in 2021. And then the complaints, I'm going to read it. You see? All right. I'm just going to show you the mindset. You understand? So, I'm just showing you how she keeps protecting him, how she keeps on protecting him at the risk of Jay. And Jay's the one that's always just thrown out there, right? As the wicked pitney, the liar pitney, right? Um, so the officer said upon arrival, I made contact with Mrs. Carter, who advised she was involved in a physical altercation with her husband. Her husband was later identified as Mr. Carter. The argument between the two parties began over several different financial reasons. This is June 2021. She advised over the last few weeks or so she and he have been in a disagreement over money. The argument started over her not having access to one of the couple's accounts. See that? She requested access from him in order to pay a bill in which he denied her access. So this is in 2021, and I'm pulling you back for a reason. So just bear with me. Yeah, I'm pulling back for a reason. I want you to listen to the kind of person that you guys are out here claiming changed to be this godly individual within 48 hours, right? They were engaged in a verbal argument for 10 minutes. She advised that she wanted to leave the residence and requested a credit card from him. He was sitting at the bottom of the stairs with the card in his pocket. He refused to give her the card and continued to scream vulgar comments at her. She then attempted to reach for the card in his pocket, and then he stood up and hit her in the face. Then he used an open hand and slapped her on the left side of the face twice. 2 times. Not once, twice. She then ran upstairs and called the police. When speaking to CMR, the officer is saying, he was advised of a story that conflicted the wife's statements. He stated that he did in fact hit her in the face, but it was after she hit him. So what she do? Reach down to your pocket for grab the card. You tell her some bad word and she lick you and then you lick her back. Hmm. And that's so she bad and wicked. Anyway, he stated that she hit him in the face with an unknown object, so she licked him in the face with something, which caused him to hit her back. She denies ever being physical with him and stated he was lying. You stated that your husband was a liar in that one. And who came to the rescue? Hmm. Jay. Drop the purple hearts. I also made contact with Jay's with her daughter. And then the full name of the child there with her correct surname. Who advised she witnessed the entire incident. She stated she was inside of the kitchen when the incident took place and observed him hit her, the mother, in the face. She also said she did not observe the mother hit or use any object to harm the father. The officer did not observe any physical marks on either of the parties, and both denied any medical attention. Hmm. So that little girl came to her mother's rescue. Chrissy, did you come to hers at all? Did you come to hers at all? When she came to your rescue, did you go to her rescue at all? Is the question I'm asking you. And he pulled this forward to the current statement to say that the little girl had a history of lying. Jano Star. That she told lie in the last statement that made him get arrested for DV. Hmm. Hmm. That little girl came to her mother's rescue with her witness statement to say, I saw it all. I know what happened. She never did it. He did. You were siding at the time with your daughter to confirm that this is the truth and he is the liar. And now you're giving the impression that she's the liar while he's busy saying how perfect a daughter she is. And the internet is telling everybody, no, that little girl, the wicked. She tell lie upon them. Imagine him look after her from she at two. And look when do. Some evilous woman calling pan soul flow, soul flow show and talk about how Jay have mental issues with her sick self. Also flow, me don't know how him hold that, because I would have tell her some fabric. Although him did cuss the fabric them afterwards and say them wicked. But still, all of a sudden, this girl got mental issues. She talks to herself. That kind of crap is what people are putting out there. Have mercy. The perfect daughter. She doesn't give any trouble. She doesn't talk back. You know, Hmm. Best daughter you could ever ask for. But when it comes to you being accountable for what you've done to her, she's a liar. And that statement is a lie. You're trying to say it's a lie because you asked for it to be sealed, the records. You asked for it to be sealed, so you're hoping that they can't get access to it, right? Hmm. People, these are the reasons why we do not believe. These are the reasons why we say justice for Jay. So when people come on my page and ask, so what the hell can we do about it? What can we do about it? Why are we still talking about this? What can we do about it? Because justice has not been served. Because you might see a pretty picture and everybody is smiling in front of the camera. But we, the deeper thinkers, see otherwise. And until such times, when that little girl finds her voice independently to really tell us what going on, it will always be justice for Jay. Light up the purple hearts. Graduates, make sure you like up the live. And if you are new to my channel, ensure that you hit that subscribe button. Double check the bell to make sure that you get notified whenever I upload new content. Big up on the nice clean self. Thank you so much for attending a touch of class with HTK. I hope you have found this live informative, thought-provoking, and I hope it challenged your mental more than anything else. There are many sides to a story, and until we hear Jay's voice, CMR, we're not running with yours. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out.